Welcome to a spark of awareness. We live in a time where we are constantly being stimulated, prompted by systems, by algorithms, by AI. But when we outsource our answers, we slowly give away our authority, our inner voice, our self-mastery. Conscious leadership has no shortcut, no hack, and it can only begin from within. It is the courage to stop escaping and to sit with what's alive and present inside, even when it's very uncomfortable, but that's where growth is. And this podcast is a space for that. This podcast is an evolution. And every week, I will share a 15-minute human prompt, live, non-performative. It is a moment of reflection drawn from my work in conscious leadership, from the journeys of the leaders I coach and accompany, and from what is moving in a collective film of what is humanity and leadership. I am Sophie, a conscious leadership coach and guide of transformation. I support leaders who are crossing the threshold right now from the old system of leadership, a legacy, into a deeper, more conscious way of being. If the traditional model no longer resonates, know that you are not alone, and that is your weekly practice. This is your time with your inner world. This is your weekly spark of awareness. Welcome. Welcome to a new episode of A Spark of Awareness. And in this episode, we are finishing the series on emotions in leadership. I touched on many emotions that were the ones that I would say usually we frame as negative, but they are just emotions without any connotation. So we covered guilt, shame, fear, anger, sadness, grief. In the previous episodes, you always go back to it when you feel like there's an emotion that is running through you and you're not giving it space and you let it run the show for you. And bringing them to awareness helps to have this self-mastery and self-leadership. And the last emotion I wanted to touch on, that also I believe is not so much in the forefront of leadership, but I would say fundamental in rebalancing the style of leadership we have today, in making it more human, more connected, more serving the purpose of a business, and it's love. How often do we give space for love in leadership? If you think about leadership, team, businesses, everything we do is very serious. We do serious things. And then with that seriousness, with that control, with that rigidity, it doesn't give a lot of space and breath for emotions that need to flow. And like I said, the negative emotions, they come up when they are suppressed and bottled up, and they come out eventually in an unhealthy way. And for love, it's kind of the same when it's not given the space to express. The opposite of love, when we don't give space for love, it's fear. So this is the best remedy for fear, mistrust, control, is love. And when I mean love in leadership, I don't mean love like, oh, I love you, you're my family, I will care for you forever, I will bypass everything and I will have no boundaries. I'm not talking about this kind of love. This is like a healthy love. I'm talking about love from the heart, love that is from a place of self-love. And love, especially in leadership, the best words I can describe it is the courage of the heart. When you overcome something fearful, something uncomfortable, what is the energy you get to overcome something very difficult? It's the courage of the heart. It's love. It's the love that you know you're going to be safe. It's the love that you know you're worth it. It's the love that you know you're going to be supported. And that is what gives you the energy, gives you the confidence to make the difficult decision, say the hard things, do the hard things. And maybe a more appropriate word for love is compassion, actually. Compassion in leadership, for your team, for your boss, for the market. I want to share some examples here on how one can apply love and compassion for better leadership than a place of control and fear. So, very typical situation in your teams is, for example, when you have someone key from your team who wants to leave. And I've seen that situation playing out many times and also playing out very wrong in how it was handled. For example, if you are from a place of control or very ego-centered or fear, as the manager, the leader, you're going to make it about you. It's like, oh, this is very inconvenient for someone so important to leave. How could that person be so irresponsible? It's a form of betrayal. I gave it all to that person, trained that person, gave a lot of care, attention. How could that person leave? This is not from a place of love or compassion. This is from a place of very self-centered. How is it going to impact me? Control. Then you can also switch in other feelings, which could be either guilting the other, blaming the other. How could you do this to me? Or guilting yourself. What have I done wrong for that person to leave? And it's again a very self-centered view where you think you have, as a person, led to that situation. And most of the time, there are many factors that make people want to leave. Of course, your own leadership could play a part in it, but you and your leadership are a piece of something bigger. And so when you approach this situation from a place of love and compassion, you start to be focused on the other one. What does that person want? Why do they want to leave? Is it better for them to leave? Will they be happier? Will they be more fulfilled? Will they be feeling better? From a place of love and compassion, first of all, you start to focus out of you. And then you start to see the situation in a more objective and neutral way from different viewpoints. Okay, a person is leaving. This is a fact. Nothing personal. What needs to be done then? If a person needs to leave, who needs to be hired? What is the transition plan? And then it makes things easier for either a person leaving, which I'm sure they're feeling sorry or uncomfortable about the situation. You are uncomfortable. And when you approach it from a place of love and compassion for yourself and the other person, things get just smoother. Things get easier. So, of course, love and compassion, even if that's applied here, it doesn't fix your situation. It doesn't make the person stay. But the way your nervous system is impacted during and after, this is where the difference is. Because, again, when you are in leadership, the main thing you can control, the main thing you should be caring about is how you show up. Self-mastery, self-leadership. How are you feeling in your body? What is running the show? Is it your fear? Is it impulse emotions? Or are you centered? Are you calm? And you have clarity and awareness of what's going on? And so when you do it from a place of love and compassion, you preserve your nervous system. You don't ruminate and think again about the person who left and then blame them, blame yourself. And that's runs in the background of your mind among many other things that you should be responsible for. Your nervous system will be very thankful for that when you can give yourself this self-love, compassion, when there are difficult things happening with people at work. And that's just the nature of working with people. What I just shared in the examples, I have done also the mistakes. I was angry. I experienced departure as a betrayal, and it made my life much harder, much more tense, and not so great also for the person leaving. But when I have approached with compassion, especially these days running my own business, then everyone is more cooperative. And I remember also one of my past experiences when I had to leave. There was a closure of a studio. I could have gone on a vendetta to really be angry at the company and the management and why it happened to me, like being a victim. And I decided to focus on the future. It happened already. The decision has been made. I want to save my energy for what's next. I don't want to ruminate and debate and negotiate with my boss why they did what they did, getting an apology and all of that. So in the end, I made things easy for my top management at the time. I'm going to leave. Those are my terms, and let's agree on how we live and let's move forward. And I don't want to have to say anything about that company moving forward. And I hope you can reciprocate with that. And it really freed my mind for building what's next. And that's the key. And that's the same today when I organize retreat, I do my work. Sometimes I have clients where we close a contract or along the way, it's not a match, nothing personal. It's like, okay, fine. You let go, you make space for what's new, you have gratitude, compassion. And I'm saying this not in a bypassing way, but try it sometimes. Try it sometimes to give a bit more love in your leadership. Because the fear is giving of love, you're going to be weaker, you're going to let guards down, boundaries, and people will take advantage. And I'm telling you, in the state of current things, there is so much imbalance of lack of compassion and love that I don't think you would overdo it. Just saying something kind, something appreciative, it would change many things, even for yourself. So, what is the daily practice that you can have to cultivate self-love? Because energy of love, emotion of love, is something you cultivate. It's not like you get somebody gave you a compliment and you feel in love. No, it's something you generate from within. And so I encourage for you to have, what is your morning routine ritual that generates love in you, so you are emanating, shining, glowing energy of love, like you're so full of it, nothing can really break you in your day. That can actually help you handle some situations that could be tense from the other side, but you're not affected. So my morning routine, as an example, I wake up and I have 30 minutes for myself to meditate, some prayers of love, prayers of gratitude, being thankful, remembering how thankful I am to be alive in this time with what I can appreciate, like filling my cup with love. And so I'm thinking a lot about the people important in my life, about the good things I have experienced the past days. Even the hard things are not so bad in the end, because there was always something I learned from it and I survived it, and it was not such a big deal. So I cultivate that and I practice that. And then I have my playlist. I call it the morning light. And I play some songs that I like to dance. So I have some movements in my kitchen, or singing, activating the voice. And I feel very different. I feel very different starting the day this way. Then I get out of bed, I'm a bit like foggy, get my coffee. I don't drink coffee anymore, but that's what I used to do. And then straight to the laptop and start the day. Very, very different energy. And when I start the day, in the first case, with that energy of love, I have a lot of inspiration. I feel centered. I feel energized and focused. I'm not distracting myself with things here and there. I'm very focused. I know what I need to do. And usually I don't need to work that many hours per day to get the big part of a job done. So there's a lot of advantage, if you want to think of it more from the brain side, efficiency, to cultivate rituals of love in the morning. What can it be for you? What brings love for you on a daily basis? And that's your responsibility. So to summarize, while you are getting awareness on the emotions that are negative in leadership, that are hidden, it's to bring them to awareness. And for love, is to bring awareness of the lack of it and cultivate it and bring it to your leadership. How you show up. Do you look at everyone's eyes when you say hello in the morning to your team? Do you think about the birthday of someone, paying attention? Do you have compassion when people make mistakes, when they want to leave? This is going to change deeply your leadership if you follow that practice of daily love for at least 28 days. And how you show up, how you think, how you feel will be very different. And you let me know later how that has gone, because I can tell you this is going to transform you, your team, and if you are the CEO founder, your company. And you can handle all the hidden emotions that are a bit challenging, like I say, fear, anger, and shame, and all of that. So to close this series on emotion, again, check the past episode for all the emotions. I'm, as usual, inviting you for a grounding meditation practice. So to integrate the learning, I'm inviting you to close your eyes and connect to your breathing, inhaling through the nose and slowly exhaling through the mouth. And as you keep breathing, because we talk about love today, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart space. So you can have your dominant hand over the left hand over your heart. And you keep breathing, filling your lungs with air and exhaling. And feel your chest, your lungs moving under your hands and your heart space expanding as you breathe and you give it more oxygen. So deepen your breathing. And the more you breathe and the more you connect with your heart space and feel all the space there is in your heart and in your chest. And breathe out and expanding. Maybe you start to feel some warmth in your hands, on your heart space. And you have a slight smile forming on your face. Some warm memories that come up. Gratitude of being alive. For all the people who are in your life. The connections. Connecting with the gratitude of your life. And if you need, I'll let you go deeper and longer for that meditation today after this episode, or something to practice every day. But for now, we will close it with a deep inhale, deep breathing. Prepare. Fill in your lungs and hold it for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale and release everything. Muscle tensions and every blockage you have in your heart space. Thank you for following that series on emotions. This is evergreen content, so each time you need to go back to a specific emotion and practice how to work with it. Come back to the past episodes. And in the next episode, we're going to cover a new chapter, which are the human needs, 7 human needs exactly, which are under the hood of everything that make people triggered, make people move, make people do things that are a little crazy sometimes, things that are incredible, and understanding that and your own need that is predominant and the shadows of it is going to go deeper, help you deeper, go in self-mastery, in your self-leadership. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for tuning into this weekly reflection, the weekly spark of awareness. After this episode, I invite you to take a few moments with yourself, even just 15 minutes, to sit with what resonated, to breathe, and to notice what is shifting inside. This is a practice, a discipline of presence, truth, and self-connection. If this work speaks to you, I accompany leaders in one-on-one journeys and group experiences of transformation, supporting them as they cross the threshold into a truer and freer way of leading and living. If you feel called to explore this path, I would love to hear your story, and let's connect. Sending you love and courage, and have a great week ahead. This is my spark of awareness.